6:21. It's been a pretty Wednesday morning no matter where we've looked. We have good visibility, clear sky conditions. Salida right now 51 degrees, just a light breeze out there. Peyton at 56. There's a little bit of a haze in the air, but it's not terrible. Not like it was a couple of days ago. So hopefully we won't have too much trouble with the smoke. And again, the wind so far hasn't been too much of a factor. It's out of the west, about 6 miles an hour. The Colorado State Veterans Nursing Home. So there's a light breeze there, 62. And of course, you see the Spanish Peaks off in the distance. And again, very little, if any, cloud cover of note. Red flag warnings valid from noon until 8 o'clock for El Paso and Fremont counties. Nobody else. We do expect wind everywhere this afternoon, and it's going to be very warm. We also think there may be more cloud cover around this afternoon that might even result in a few sprinkles or brief showers over near the mountains. We're not expecting any significant rain. If we were, obviously, red flag warnings wouldn't be issued. We'll also have to watch near the Kansas state line for storms that may develop this evening that could be strong, though most of those should be off into Kansas as it appears this morning. A little cooler today along the Front Range with 80s. Mountain areas will only be in the 50s and 60s, and even our big valleys in southern Colorado should expect 70s. The heat is going to stay in place in the southeastern part of the state. I think you'll have the worst of it with mid-90s today. Skycast shows the clouds around this evening, and again, maybe a few sprinkles, but those should wind down pretty quickly after the sun goes down, leaving us mostly clear overnight. And then some cooler air will settle in for tomorrow with highs in the mid-70s. So tomorrow looks like a real comfortable day. It'll be a little breezy, but it's not going to be as windy as it's been recently. So I really like tomorrow. Friday will be in the lower 80s. Saturday a little warmer. Could have a late day rumble of thunder. Better chances for some storms, though, starting Sunday and lasting into the first half of next week. Highs next week should fall off into the 70s, and lows may tail back into the 40s at that time. Pueblo will look for highs to be in the mid-80s tomorrow. Upper 80s again on Friday. Might reach the 90s briefly Saturday before the cooler air begins to work back into the area. And with that will come that chance for some showers and thunderstorms. Scattered, sure, but we do think storms that start developing late in the weekend and next week could be good rainmakers, so we'll have to track that potential and the interactions with the burn scars as we get towards that time frame. Canyon City, look for 80s here through the end of the week, probably upper 80s on Saturday, then falling off to near 80 by Monday and Tuesday. Overnight lows in the 50s to around 60 for most nights. We're still going to have some clouds and some wind at times over the next several days. But as the storms come back into the area next week, we won't have to worry too much about the fire weather concerns. Mountain communities looking for 60s and 70s across the board here for highs. Overnight lows in the 40s. Mentioned there could be a shower today. Wouldn't expect much. And we couldn't rule out a rumble of thunder on Saturday, but certainly Sunday and the next week would appear more active on the thunderstorm front. And looking at a 40 to 50% coverage, that's pretty good. So obviously we're expecting some decent chances for rain next week.
And again, just because you're not in the area covered by the red flag warning, it still pays to be careful.
Has a lot to do with the ground reports of the vegetation. I mean, you know, how much of it is drying out. And apparently it's been a little bit drier around El Paso and Fremont counties. Thank the wind for that. But yeah, you still have to be careful with it.
All right. Thanks, Marty.
You're welcome.